Okay. Look at Arcane first. Probably no StarCraft tonight. Arcane, though. Alright, so first of all, we got Arcane Barrage. This bad boy costs 800 mana. It's a 3-second cooldown, 40-yard range. Launches bolts of arcane energy at the enemy target, causing a certain amount of arcane damage and consuming all arcane charges. Arcane Barrage's damage is increased by 70% per arcane charge, and it hits one additional nearby target per arcane charge for 50% damage. This is reminding me a lot of Baj Grampy right now, of him going, boo, and seeing all these little things blast off everywhere. That's pretty fun. Baj Grampy is a beast. We have Arcane Blast, which is a 2.08 second cast, 40-yard range. Blast the target enemy with energy, dealing 10,000 arcane damage and generating an arcane charge. Arcane Blast damage is also increased by 70% per arcane charge, and its mana cost is increased by 100% per arcane charge. Okay, so Arcane still is about managing your arcane charges, which is pretty cool. Arcane Explosion causes an explosion of arcane. So this is, once again, deals damage, and it generates an arcane charge within 10 yards. I guess it's a 10-yard range, generating an arcane charge if they are hit. Okay, so you can stack up your arcane charge a lot with Arcane Explosion, it looks like. Neat. Same thing, everything stacks up, does more damage, costs more mana. Okay. Arcane Missiles. So launches 5 waves of arcane missiles at an enemy over 1.85 seconds, dealing damage, and arcane missiles damage is also increased by 70% per arcane charge. Arcane missiles has a 30% chance to be activated after each of your damaging spell casts. That's kind of cool. So you can just pew forever. Arcane Power is a 1.5 minute cooldown. When activated, you deal 20% more spell damage, and damaging spells cost 10% less mana to cast. This effect lasts 15 seconds. Okay, that's just one of your cooldowns. Alright. Blink teleports the caster 20 yards away or forward unless something is in its way. Also frees the caster from stuns and bonds. You can conjure up some refreshments. Cool stuff, cool stuff. Counterspell counters the enemy's spell cast, preventing any spell from that school of magic being cast for 6 seconds. I didn't know that conjure items disappear if logged out for more than 15 minutes. Is that the only way they go away? That's cool. Displacement. This teleports you back to where you last blinked from, or sets cooldown to blink, so you go, and then you go, where's my other one? And then you can blink again. But you can't displace for another 30 seconds. But you can blink, displace, and then blink again if you wanted to. Only usable within 6 seconds and blinking. That's a cool ability. Evocation. You gain 25% of your total mana instantly, and another 75% of your total mana over 5.56 seconds. 1.5 minute cooldown, so it gets you all of your mana back if you let it regen. Yo, Trans Fatty. Hit him with the flex. That was on board, man. Thanks for subscribing, dude. I appreciate that, man. All that trans fatty goodness. Get you some hydrogenated oils. Alright, Frost Nova. Blasts enemies within 12 yards of the caster for a certain amount of frost damage and frees them in place for up to 8 seconds. Damage caused may interrupt this effect. Okay. So you go. Greater Invis. I guess I could bind. Oh, I did bind it. Okay. It's there. We don't need another one. Alright. This one is a 2-minute cooldown. Instantly makes you invisible and untargetable for 20 seconds, removing all threat. If any action taken cancels this effect, or any action taken cancels this effect, you gain 60% reduced damage while invisible, and for 3 seconds after the effect expires. So it's kind of like a defensive cooldown. You go invis. Okay, I see what's going on here. So it is kind of like a defensive cooldown. Okay. Ice Barrier instantly shields you for 1 minute, absorbing a certain amount of damage. While the shield holds, all spell casting will not be interrupted by damage. Cool. So you kind of want to keep that up, it looks like. Ice Block. I used it before, so it's on cooldown. But same thing as it always is, I think. 10-second immunity. Cool. Polymorph. Let's see. I don't think anything's different about this. No, it's not. I can make portals if you want portals. I got you. Slow. You can. This is for Arcane, I think, only. Then you also have Slow Fall. I guess I could bind that. Spell Steal. Steals a beneficial magical effect from the target. This effect lasts for maximum 2 minutes. It costs 11k, man. I'm not sure what that's like before for Arcane. Not sure that's more or less. Time Warp, 5-minute cooldown. Big Daddy Haste. Same thing as before. But now here are your passives. Arcane Charge. Arcane Charge are generated by Arcane Blast, Arcane Missiles, and Arcane Explosion, and all are consumed by Arcane Barrage. So we already knew that, I think. We already knew that. Oh, it says Arcane Explosion only has a 1% chance to generate a charge if at least one target is hit. Okay, I see. I gotcha. Okay. Alright. All that behaves pretty similarly. Only thing is the Arcane Missiles is just increased damage. It doesn't actually increase mana cost, I guess. Okay, cool. Mage armor. Increase your mastery by a flat amount. The duration of all harmful magical effects on you is reduced by 25%. So that's cool. So you're sheeped for less time. You're, I guess, noted for less time. If you don't blink Hodge, it's for less time. You're silenced for less time. That's kind of cool. Mastery is Savant. Increases your mana regeneration and maximum mana by 41.6%. This is just your mastery. Okay, so this scales up. Arcane charges increase the damage of affected spells by an additional 20%. Okay, so that's everything, actually. Okay. Those are your abilities. Let's look at the talents. Talents are always pretty cool, too. Arcane Familiar. Summon a familiar that attacks your enemies, increases your maximum mana by 10%. Lasts for 1 hour. So it's a 1-minute cooldown. So it's like a water elemental for Arcane, too. That's kind of neat. Presence of Mind. So it's a 1-minute cooldown. Once activated, the next 3 Arcane Blasts you cast will be instant. Okay, so that's not Palm Polymorph anymore. It's just Palm, like, pow, pow, pow. That's cool. Torrent. Your Arcane Barrage deals 25% increased damage per target it hits. So if you charge up and you do like a three-pronged Arcane Barrage, it deals 75% more damage. That's kind of cool. I need to check out a lot of these talents, but let's see. What do we want to start with? Maybe we'll bring out the Familiar. I don't know. Seems kind of fun. Maybe we'll bust him out in a second here. Put you there, buddy. Shimmer. Blink now has 2 charges, is off the global cooldown, and can be cast while casting. That's kind of neat. Fatal damage. This is so Cauterize is pretty much what it did before. Let's see. It looks like fatal damage will instead bring you to 35, and you'll burn for 28% of your max health for 6 seconds, while burning and movement and slowing effects are suppressed, and your movement speed is increased by 150%. Is that new? I don't actually know. Cold Snap. Ice Block now has 2 charges and heals you for 3% of your maximum health every 1 second. Oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that one instead of Shimmer. I'll do Cold Snap because I'm a noob. Let's see, where can we put Cold Snap, though? Let's... Oh, it's just a passive. Oh, okay, never mind. We don't actually have to use it. It just has 2 charges. Okay, cool. Mirror Image creates 3 copies of the caster nearby, which cast spells and attack the mage's enemies. Lasts 40 seconds. Okay, that's cool. Rune of Power. Place Rune of Power on the ground. This ability makes me laugh. Because when you see people doing this in BGs, you're like, oh, jeez. Oh, not like this. But anyway. It increases your spell damage by 50% while you stand within 8 yards. So that's actually kind of beast for, like, PvE. Enchantress Flow. Magical energy flows through you while in combat, building up to 20% increased damage and then diminishing down to 4% increased damage, cycling every 10 seconds. I want to do that one. Supernova. Causes a pulse of arcane energy around the target or ally, dealing a certain amount of damage to all enemies within 8 yards and knocking them upward. A primary enemy target will take 100% increased damage. Charged up. While activated, grants 4 arcane charges. Oh, baby. Every 30 seconds, you can just wallop somebody. Words of Power is a passive. You have up to an additional 10% chance to trigger arcane missiles based on your current mana percentage. Higher chance at higher mana. Okay. This one seems kind of... Supernova is cool. It's a cool ability, but I kind of want to do Charged Up. I don't know, man. That seems like fun. Like an ability to use to just, like, butt blast somebody. Sounds fun. Ice Flows. Your next mage spell can be cast while moving, castable while another spell is in progress and unaffected by the global cooldown. Max 3 charges. What? That's kind of... So you just cast on the move. Ring of Frost, probably the same thing it used to be. Ice Ward. Frost Limit has 2 charges. I'm going to go with Ice Flows. Let's put that right here. Well, I got to learn how to use that, though. Got to figure out what cool spells to cast on the move. I guess you go... When you're Arcane Blasting. That's kind of cool. Nether Tempest. Oh, baby. It's back. Places Nether Tempest on the target, which deals a certain amount of arcane damage over a certain amount of time, and all enemies within 10 yards. Limit 1 target. Damage increased by 7. Oh, the damage goes up with your arcane charges. Oh, baby. Unstable magic, so Arcane Blast is the only one that really matters. Have a chance to explode on impact, dealing additional 50% damage to the target and everything within 8 yards. That's kind of cool. Erosion. Your attacks erode the target's resistances, increasing all damage the target takes from your spells by 1%. Second to 10 times. After 3 seconds of not taking damage from your spells, this effect will decrease by 1 second every... I want to try Nether Tempest. That sounds like fun. Just dotting somebody. Feels good, man. Let's just dot people up. Alright. Overpowered. Casting Arcane Missiles extends Arcane Power by 2 seconds. That's cool. Quickening, Arcane Blast, Arcane Missiles, and Arcane Explosion also grant 2% haste for 6 seconds. Stacking up to 100 times? What? It's kind of cool. Arcane Orb launches an Arcane Orb forward from the Arcane Mage's position. Yeah, so we already knew what that was pretty much too. Oh, it grants Arcane Mage an Arcane Charge when the cast and every time it deals damage. That's kind of cool, too, though. I kind of want to try the Quickening one. That sounds like fun. Okay, cool. Those are the talents. I probably need to experiment with a lot of these, and I probably will. If I like a class, I'll keep it, because you can only have 10 right now. So if I like a class, I'll keep it. Mess with different talents, but yeah. All right, let's get to some PvE. Let's get to some questing on this thing. Seems cool though. All right.